1966, and now he's based here in Conway Hall, which is the traditional home of rationalism and free thought. We got an email today from someone who's been arrested for criminal damage for ticking the no box on the Alpha Clause Does God Exist poster. So our position is that you can believe whatever you like. You can even be a Jedi, as long as it doesn't affect anyone else's human rights or quality of life. And if it does, legislation should stop that. We want government and public institutions to be neutral so that everyone has a level playing field. We don't think that religion should have any special privilege in law, politics, education, science or healthcare. Religious groups should not get exemptions from equality laws to discriminate against lesbians and gays, or people who are not of the right religion or of none. There should not be unelected bishops in the House of Lords, and there should not be faith-based welfare, as it's too open to abuse. We don't think the morals can only come from religion, or that they originally came from religion at all. We're against the state funding of religious schools. At the moment, 1 in 3 schools in the UK is a religious school paid for by the taxpayer. They're allowed to force religion onto kids and to discriminate both against the children they accept and against who they employ. Despite academic research that shows faith schools are terrible for social cohesion, the government plans to open more, and so do the Tories if they do. And of course we oppose the teaching of creationism as an alternative to evolution. We fought hard against the blasphemy law, and we stand up for freedom of speech. Religion and superstition should not have any special right to be protected from criticism and debate. Individuals have rights, not beliefs. If they want the right to tell us that we're going to burn in hell, we want the right to tell them that they're wrong. We think it's plain, factually wrong that criticism of Islam is branded racist, and that anyone who tries to stand up against a vocal minority is bullied into silence by threats of legal action or physical violence. We don't think that religion or superstition should get in the way of scientific progress, or that religious people should be able to put their beliefs before the safety and the health of others. For example, Muslim women medical students refusing to go bare to the elbow for hygiene, or pharmacists refusing to sell the morning after pill, or doctors deliberately delaying women who need abortions. The cash-strapped NHS should not be paying over £40 million a year for chaplains. Psychologists and psychiatrists should not be able to advertise claims to cure homosexuality. Female genital mutilation has no religious defence. The Vatican has excommunicated the parents and doctors of a 9-year-old girl who was raped and made pregnant by her stepfather because they got her an abortion. It continues to cover up child abuse by priests. The NSS is already getting hate mail for criticising plans to bring the Pope here next year because public money will be spent. And we've created a growing storm in the media by criticising the Vatican at the UN for child abuse cover-ups. It has outright lied about the efficacy of condoms in preventing AIDS, preaching abstinence in the face of all scientific evidence and sanity, along with some American evangelists and funding bodies who make HIV/AIDS support contingent on promoting abstinence. We're very pleased to support TAM London and the amazing Tracy King, and we also support TAM. Facts, not faith. If you'd like to know more, there are leaflets and magazines at the back, as well as posters and badges, and it's all free, and you can sign up for our free weekly email, and you can join on our website. Finally, I've only recently started blogging, and one thing I have learnt is that you have to shamelessly pimp your blog.
While we're here, Robin Ince has a joke that people describe the internet as a great, vast, universal library. He says it's not. It's a very small library next to a vast toilet. I think that the internet, or certainly the library part of it, is the best tool for skepticism. It is universal, it is free, anybody can use it, and that's exactly what this panel is about. We have, I think, some of the finest examples of people from around the skeptic movement who do stuff on the internet, blogs, podcasts, and so on. They very kindly come to give us their time. They're going to chat amongst themselves, led by Rebecca Watson, and then throw it open to questions from you guys. So get your thinking caps on if you haven't prepared those already. I was going to do a lengthy introduction of all of our amazing panellists, but I left my voice at TAM London, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to introduce Rebecca Watson, who's going to lead our amazing panellists, and they're going to introduce themselves. So give it up for Rebecca.
Why don't all the panelists come up and join me on the stage, and then we'll go, and I'm going to make you introduce yourselves, because I don't have a voice either, actually. So could everybody come on up stage, and could we get a round of applause for... Why don't you start from the end there, and we'll work our way down, and just tell everybody who you are and what it is that you do on the internet that is so damn skeptical.
I'm Martin Robbins, as you might have guessed from the name thing in front of me. And I blog at layscience.net, which is used to just be me, but now I've got about 15, 18 guest writers there as well, so that I can go off and do other things like write for the Guardian, and I'm working on a book next year. All stuff about skepticism.
My name's Andy Lewis. I run the Crack Onto website. It might come as a little bit of a surprise, but I've got absolutely no interest whatsoever in alternative medicine. It's probably one of the most boring subjects I can think of. What does interest me, though, is critical thinking. I think alternative medicine is a little bit of a playground where we can explore ideas, and in particular, what interests me is why weird beliefs persist, the persistence of delusion. I think I'd like to explore that a little bit more. So if you haven't seen Crack Onto, what it is it started off by, you can type in, you go to a website, you can type in the URL of the website, Crack Onto goes away, and it tells you whether that website is quackery or not, and then the people sue you. Thank you.
I'm Gio. My particular corner of the toilet is geologicpodcast.com. I have a segment, my most popular segment is called The Religious Moron of the Week. I'm also the least qualified person on this panel.
That is not at all true. I'm Rebecca Watson. I run skeptic.org. That's www.skeptic.org. And I'm also on a podcast called The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, and I run Boston Skeptics at bostonskeptics.com.
Well, I'm Neil Denny. I'm the non-Irish presenter of a podcast and a radio show called Little Atoms, which, and I have the little blurb I read out at the beginning of the show, so I may as well do that rather than just try and live it. It's a podcast and talk show about ideas, and it's based on the Enlightenment, which about 120 shows in now we're probably getting a bit, probably wearing that big thing. It's a bit of a spurious thing, and no doubt, I'll preempt you by saying that yes, you can point out loads of examples of the show where we don't actually follow that, but no doubt get start here. We promote science, freedom of expression, and rationalism, and secular humanism, and we argue against superstition and alternative medicine and conspiracy theory. And that's me.
I'm Tim Farley. My project that a lot of you know me from is whatstheharm.net, which tries to collect victim stories of people who have been hurt by a lack of critical thinking. And that was a project that came out of me attending a TAM and wanting to become involved. And since then I've been trying to focus on other ways to help skeptics use the internet. So I have a blog that's very infrequently updated called SkepTools at skeptools.com. And we talk about things like, using Google custom search or using certain HTML tags and things like that, technical things that skeptics can do to make their websites better. I didn't want to just